get my 6. Okay, so I've come out to shut the chickens who aren't quite at roost yet. So before I do that, I'm going to see if I can repeat something that happened here about 30 minutes ago while my son and I were up here at our family campground. You can't see it from here, but over this knoll, we have a sizable field mowed out. We have fires there. We hang out, camp there, picnic. My son and I were hanging out up there, and we decided to walk up to the top of the hill way up here, and then we cut down through our meadow, which is something we do this time of year when the new growth comes out. We like to go and see what all kinds of new trees we have that we didn't have the year before. We found some new dogwoods, some new pines, some old trees that were 4 or 5 feet tall last year, and now 6 and 7 feet tall this year. It's beautiful. But there were 2 or 3 times when I looked over into the woods, and this is the strangest thing. I saw what looked like a dead tree, like the forks, like a trunk coming up and then branching out, kind of like Siren head. Then it stopped, and it was a tree. And when I first saw it, and the reason I looked is because I felt like something was watching me, like something was moving just within the tree line as my son and I moved throughout that meadow, following and watching. I looked over. I looked over and it looked like a tree, but I don't remember that tree ever being there. And I'm around my property all day, every day. I run, I walk. I'm very observant. I'm always paying attention to my surroundings. There was no tree that looked like that in that location before. And so I thought, well, okay, same sound, different location. Is that loud grunt we heard a second ago? It sounds as if there may be 2 of them communicating back and forth from a considerable distance between each other. So we're going down through the meadow a little bit further, maybe another 50 yards. I get that same feeling. Something's following, something's... So I look over, and again, this time, we're 50 yards further down the meadow, and I see what appears to be that same dead tree, but not up where it was before, but 50 yards further down, coming up like a trunk, forking off, forks only going out about this far, looking like, Siren head, and it was like peeking out from behind a tree. Wow, did you see that? Like right here. So we make it back down to the campground. We're sitting in our chairs, just talking, me and my son. And he says, "Dad?" And I say, "Yeah." And he says, "It feels creepy. Let's go back down to the house." I was like, "Are you sure?" And of course, I didn't tell him what I saw. I didn't want to freak him out. I said, "We can go down there if you want." Well, about that time we looked down, and his mother, my wife, Dearly, aka Giggly Girl, she's coming up the trail to the campground. So I said, "Well, let's wait. Let's see if your mom wants to hang out here for a minute." So she sits down in another chair. And she sits there and she says, "So what are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're hanging out. We went for a walk. We looked at some of these new trees and whatnot." We sit there enjoying the view. Look at this view. Of course, we're facing the other way, which you can see out across the field. We can see our bee boxes, our hives. We just got our bees today. In case you missed that video, go back and watch it. It's really awesome. It's like all my videos. I mean, just totally awesome. And all of a sudden my wife says, it feels creepy up here for some reason. And just last night we were up there and we had a fire. We ate our dinner and everything. And we never had these feelings. Well, I didn't tell her about that creepy looking dead tree that was following me down through the tree line either. And she said, let's go back down to the house. And our son said, yeah, we were just getting ready to. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Okay, the chickens are in now, so I do need to shut them up. But what I'm going to do before that is I'm going to walk up through here, and I'm just going to gather some sticks to start a fire tonight. It's April. It's warm during the days, but it's still getting pretty cold at night. We're still burning in the wood stove, probably for another couple more weeks. I need some sticks to start a fire. I want you to watch this tree line all the way up and watch for movement while there's still daylight. There's almost, it's getting dark soon, but you can see the light in between the trees, the spacings. Focus intently on that and see if things move. I'll go up the trail to the campground to where we left, and I'm going to turn around and come right back down through here, and you watch and see if you can see anything following me in the tree line. Look who I found up there. Terrified. Did you guys hear that loud, monstrous, mysterious creature screaming from the forest? It was coming from straight ahead of me. I ran to get a closer look and took cover behind a big patch of briars, and my kitty cat, Miss Cleopatra, was hunkered down in that big patch of briars, shaking in terror, staring at the sound coming from the forest, from the direction where the sound was coming. So whatever was up there following me and my family, me and my son, and lingering after my wife came up, giving her the creeps, was still there. Miss Cleopatra had her eyes on it, but she was too scared to leave to come back to the house. But she's fine, even though this mysterious creature that just screamed at us from the forest that potentially may or may not be a Bigfoot Sasquatch tried to eat the family cat. She seems to be okay. What do you think, girl? You okay? You see yourself in the camera? Gosh, you're pretty, aren't you? All right, so she's fine. Boy, I sure am glad I came out to do this. I was hoping to catch something on camera, and by so doing, I think I might have saved my family cat's life. Girl, we need to go inside. So I'm gonna go shut the chickens up. They're in now. I'm not getting these sticks out there. We're gonna, I'm pretty thrifty when it comes to everything. I was gonna try to save $12 a night by burning in a wood stove instead of turning on the heat. I'm gonna turn on the heat because I'm not going close to those woods again today. Let me shut up the chickens. You keep watching. You saw where I was hiding. That scream came from directly through that forest. Watch and see if it comes closer. I think she still sees it. Turn the camera so you can see me shutting up the chickens. Something comes at me, we're gonna get it on film here. All right, so that's where I'm gonna be shutting up the chickens. Gosh, she is crazy. She is too crazy for her own good. She's just like me, she's going back at it. Kitty, don't go back after that mysterious creature that just screamed from the forest. That may or may not be a Bigfoot Sasquatch. Come on, Miss Kitties. Come here, Miss Kitties. Come here, Miss Kitties. We gotta get inside. There's a mysterious creature up there screaming from the forest. All right, so she doesn't know what's best for her own good. So I'm taking her inside. We're done for the day. If you guys saw anything, make sure to timestamp it. I know you heard those screams. And when I started up the trail, you probably heard the tree knock. My goodness gracious. I'm glad I came out here. So that mysterious creature screaming in the forest, which may or may not have been a Bigfoot Sasquatch, didn't eat our family cat. Say bye-bye, Cleopatra. Bye-bye, Cleopatra.